cold enough to blanket the dunes with ice in the winter, and warm enough for a nice day out at the beach in the summer. Glaciers would carve out the Great Lakes about 14,000 years ago, including Lake Michigan, the largest self-contained lake inside any one country. Since their formation, many cultures have called these beaches and dunes their home. And it is here where the story of New Buffalo would begin. For many years, the Iroquois, Miami, and Potawatomi Native Americans would live in this area and enjoy fishing in the crystal clear waters of Lake Michigan. In November of 1834, Captain Wessel Whittaker was ferrying passengers from Buffalo, New York to Chicago, Illinois. A terrible storm had swept up the ship, and it crashed on the banks of Lake Michigan. Before traveling to St. Joseph to report the loss of their ship, Captain Whittaker took a moment to take in the beauty of the lake shore. He noticed the patch of land that they shipwrecked near would make for a great harbor, one that he believed could even rival New York. He dubbed this area New Buffalo. A year later, in 1835, Captain Whittaker would return to this harbor with his family and many of his friends in order to create his dream of a new Buffalo. They would construct sawmills and begin logging to construct buildings and make an income. But New Buffalo was in a very advantageous position in between Detroit and Chicago for land travelers, and in between Chicago and New York for those traveling by the lake. In the mid-1840s, the Michigan Central Railroad Company had finished their track in between Niles and New Buffalo, making New Buffalo the very end of the railroad line. Soon, the town would explode in both trade and tourism. The rise of the automobile in the early 20th century gave New Buffalo a whole new wave of tourism. In 1934, the state of Michigan declared that New Buffalo was the gateway to Michigan. A contractor named Paul Oselka began dredging the harbor that we see today in the 1960s. In 1975, the New Buffalo Safe Harbor had finally been completed. The dream of Captain Whittaker had finally been realized. The original New Buffalo Lighthouse, which is not the same as the one we see on the beach today, was erected in the year 1840. The lighthouse stopped being used in 1859. In 1861, all the usable materials such as bricks and metalwork were sold at a public auction. The lighthouse that we see on the beach today used to be part of a mini golf course. The golf course, along with the Diamond Bowl Recreational Complex, was slated for demolition to make way for a new set of condominiums. Paul Oselka was one of the developers that donated the lighthouse to the lakefront. It was named in honor of realtor and boat broker Chuck Ritter. He had passed away on June 28th of 2005, only a few months before the lighthouse would have gone up. His friends were dedicated to making sure this project went through, and many in the community rallied behind it.
Here's one for dreamers who took that step. Here's one for every time they jumped without a net.
The story of New Buffalo is the story of dreamers. Dreamers like Captain Whitaker, Paul Oselka, and Chuck Ritter. These are people who helped create a thriving community and be a part of Michigan's history. The Chuck Ritter Lighthouse stands to a testament of all of that, watching silently over the city of New Buffalo and the shores of Lake Michigan. New Buffalo and its dreamers will never be forgotten.
Will you regret the fall or the times you did nothing at all? Here's one for magic that lives within, for seeing beauty in the commonest of things. Here's one for passion without restraint, to those who stumble to the ground and feel no shame. You're scared to fly in the endless sky, when the voices say that there's no way you'll ever make the grade. And they say you try and you fall from high. When the sun is set, will you regret the fall or the times you did nothing at all? Failure's always an option, but doubt's the fatal toxin that leaves your dreams to wither on the vine. Why is your brain refusing? What are you scared of losing? If you don't try, you'll fail.
You know, guys, I don't like sand. It's rough, it's irritating, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. Oh man, that joke made me a real son of a beach, didn't it? Hey Nick, did you see what I did there?
I can't stand you right now. You need to stop.